I'm Mike and this is Will. We are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hi.
And we're bringing you issue 13 of Warhammer 40k Conquest today. And this issue we got our first terrain kit, although you've seen all the terrain, this is the first kit you would get. A Munitorum Armoured Container plus a number of smaller crates and barrels. You should have all seen it by now. And heading into the issue, first we got a bit of background information on the Honour of Ultramar that we've been fighting on, or the Blade of Novaris as we've been calling it. And here's some background on the warp, the sort of alternate reality dimension thing that where demons come from, and is also used for faster than light travel. And we've got a little bit of blurb on navigators, how the Imperium travels through the warp. Here we have background on STC systems, or standard template constructs, basically blueprints that the Imperium uses to 3D print vehicles and equipment. And a nice picture of a Tech Priest Dominus there from the Adeptus Mechanicus. And here we have our build guide for the armoured container, and we don't really need to build the crates and barrels, only two parts. And you can see you can build it with the doors up or the doors down. Shows doors up personally. Also you should note to not glue the storm bolters in, so you can take them off and you can stack the crates up on top of each other. No painting tutorial this week, because frankly painting that huge box with a tiny little starter brush, you'd probably spend all week just painting that. So we'll head into the first mission this week, Dangerous Cargo.
So here we have our first mission for this issue, Dangerous Cargo. Now you'll notice straight away from the picture that we've got the forces we're using, and also that the first container that we got this issue has been placed in the middle of the board, and that will become important for the second mission, at least in particular. But you might be wondering, well, we've seen all of these forces before, this isn't a particularly exciting pair of forces to be fighting with, but the reason for that is that we have a ton of new rules this issue. We have got, for the first time, proper data sheets, like you get in the full rules. So here we've got the one for Lieutenant Calcius, and he's got a ton of things along the top of his profile, a ton of numbers with some letters by them, and some weapon profiles, and all that is explained here. Of course, if you're familiar with the full Warhammer 40,000 rules, you'll recognise all this. This is all as it should be, but just very quickly going through it. Most of this we've seen before. We learnt how strength and toughness work in the last issue, and then everything else has been present in one form or another, with a couple of exceptions. Leadership, which as it says we'll explain later on, we don't learn about the morale phase yet. And then we've also got the things all about weapons, some of which we know and some of which we don't. So in particular, we don't know what weapon types are yet. That'll come in a future issue. Then we've got data sheets for all of the models that we will be using in this issue. Then we've got the Intercessors, the Reavers, and Lieutenant Calcius. And then over the page we've got the Plague Marines and the Poxwalkers. And there's an awful lot of information here. I'm not going to go through it all, but I do want to pick out a couple of things that are new, effectively. First of all, we have the bolt rifles for the Intercessors, which are type rapid fire 1. We don't know what that means yet, but they have an AP of -1. Now, AP is something we have sort of had before. It reduces the armour save of the model being shot by the gun. And you'll see they have an AP of -1, so that means that Plague Marines will only be saving on a 4+ against shots from these, whereas previously they've had a 3+, so that's quite good for the Intercessors. And we've got their pistols and their various grenades. Then the Reavers, likewise, they have gained a bonus. They now have their heavy bolt pistols with their proper rules, which also have a -1 AP value, which means, again, that Plague Marines will have their save reduced against those, which is something they didn't have before. And they also have a new thing called shock grenades, which are a grenade that works the same way as a frag grenade pretty much, D3 shots rather than D6, and doesn't do any damage. Instead, a unit that's hit by it cannot fire any overwatch and has -1 to hit until the end of the turn. So it could be quite useful for making a charge into some Plague Marines without being overwatched. And then finally, Lieutenant Calcius himself. You can see his power sword has an AP of -3, which is why Plague Marines only have a 6+ save against it. And then over here again, Plague Marines. Main important thing here, the plasma gun. Finally we understand how it works properly. You can see there we've got two profiles of the plasma gun, standard and supercharged. Supercharged is effectively what we've been using up until this point. Does 2 damage, makes them save on wounds on 2s, and makes Space Marines save on a 6. But the bearer is killed if he rolls a 1 to hit. But there's also the standard profile that is now available, which only wounds on 3s, not 2s, because it's only strength 7. But it doesn't kill the champion, very crucially, which is a great relief. And the Blight Launcher, you'll note there, does D3 damage now. We were told it did 2 in the last issue, but now it does D3 instead. And then finally the Poxwalkers, there's nothing new there to note. You'll also note that there's all these keywords at the bottom. We don't know what that means yet. That will come up later on. And the second big new batch of rules this issue are for terrain. So we've got rules for how the terrain works now that we've got a box to fight over. And it's really quite simple, is that if you're going over terrain, you just measure the distance up the side of it and distract that from your total move. And line of sight is also mentioned. We're now actually encouraged to get down and look from the model's eye point of view, which does have the effect of meaning that the smaller crates and barrels are no longer infinitely tall, so if you can actually see over them, then you can see your opponent, which is good. And then just to point out that if you're shooting at a unit that is partially obscured by terrain, you can still shoot at them even if you can't see all the models because there's a box in the way. I think that's come up before anyway, that's how we've been playing it, but which is explicitly here. And then this is all about fighting over terrain in the fight phase, and charging and how that works, being within an inch or not. And then there's a bit about wobbly model syndrome here, which is essentially just where you can't balance a model, then you can say he's there even if he would technically be falling off. Doesn't mean you can put models where they shouldn't actually supposed to be. So now we understand all the new things we've got, we can go back to the mission. Pretty much straightforward fight. 5 Plague Marines, 12 Poxwalkers against Cassius, the Reavers and the Intercessors. And we roll to see who deploys first, and then we roll to see who goes first. So we'll get straight to that. So, rolling off to see who deploys first.
I've got a 4.
I've got a 6. Means I've won deployment, again. Second time ever. And for my first deployment, I've plonked all these Poxwalkers down here within 2 inches of that far right marker.
And I'll deploy the Reavers.
So the Reavers are going over there on Space Marines left. And then we're going to put the Plague Marines down here behind the box, out of line of sight.
So deploy the Intercessors on the right flank so Cassius can go in the middle and provide his bubble of reroll wounds.
Yeah, great, and that's it for deployment then, so we'll roll off to see who goes first.
Roll.
So you're going first.
I get to go first.
Space Marines, turn 1.
So first things first, the Reavers are going to move up. So you're just going to be just poking out so you can have a shot at those. He's putting out range, just.
Yeah, I think he will be in range.
Just be in range to have a shot for the sake of it. And Cassius will move around behind them. And then the Intercessors will move up. And the only person who can see anyone is this Reaver, so he'll shoot at the Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
He's got one shot hitting on 3s. And we hit.
Strength 4, winning on 3.
Yeah, rerolling 1s because of Cassius. Got a wound.
Got a wound. It has -1 armor save, but Poxwalkers don't have an armor save. That doesn't matter, and he's failed his disgustingly resilient, so 1 Poxwalker goes down, and we'll take this one back. And, no, well, assume you're not going to take any charges.
No, it's a bit far, and I don't want the Reavers to get caught out on their own, so that'll be the end of my turn.
So that'll be on to Death Guard turn 1. So the first thing that's going to happen is the Poxwalkers are going to move up a bit. They're 4 whole inches, and now I'm just going to move them off camera and then come back. The Poxwalkers have moved up. The Plague Marines are then going to move their 5 inches, and they're going to shuffle over here as well. Gets them to about there. All of the Blight launchers can see that Reaver poking his way around the box. I'm not so bothered about the bolt gun, although I think he can see anyway. So with that, we're going to go on to the shooting phase. So yeah, everyone can see those Reavers, so the Plague Marines are going to shoot at them. We're going to start with the 2 Blight launchers, because they do their D3 damage. That's 4 shots total. No. Okay, well they've all hit. And we've got 3 wounds with those. They have a AP of -2, as we now know what that means.
3, 5 plus armor saves. Made 1.
So 2d3 damage, we've got to do these one at a time. First one has killed a Reaver.
So I'll take away this one.
And the second one has killed another Reaver.
And I'll take him away as well.
Now everything else, now you notice the Sergeant is no longer visible, but because all the shooting is considered to happen at the same time, I can still shoot these guns even though their bearers can't actually see them anymore. So we'll do the plasma gun. We're not going to overcharge it. So we've got 2 shots with the plasma gun. We've got 1 hit. It wounds on a 3 because I'm not overcharging it, but it has wounded.
6 plus armor save.
Yep, AP of -3.
Nope.
Nope, so Sarge takes a wound.
Takes a wound.
And then we've got the 4 shots from the bolt guns. Let's see if we can finish him off. 4 hits again. Wounding on 4s. Only 1, so if he makes his armour save...
3 plus armour save.
No. So
there go the Reavers.
That is what a Plague Marine unit can do in 1 round of shooting if the champion doesn't kill himself and various other things. Yeah, the Poxwalkers are technically within range to charge Calcius, but they're not going to because the risk of losing one to Overwatch is slightly higher than the chance of actually making it into combat. So we're not going to do that. And that means it's going to be on to Space Marines, turn 2.
So first things first, the intercessors are going to move up behind this pile of crates. So they'll be about there, and the other guy will be in there. So you can all see your Plague Marines.
You can indeed.
And Calcius will move up just around there. And then straight onto the shooting phase. The intercessors are going to fire your Plague Marines.
They're all within 12 inches. So we've got 2 shots.
6 shots hitting on 3s.
Oh.
They all hit. Wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s. There's 2 wounds there. 2 4+ armour saves.
4+ because of that new AP -1, and we've made both of them double 4. And charge phase.
I'm not going to declare any charges because it's a bit far.
Yeah, fair enough. It's
Together.
quite a long charge. He wouldn't take any Overwatch, but he would be by himself out there. So that means that's the end of Space Marine's turn, on to Death Guard, turn 2. We're going to start by moving these Plague Marines to their 5. So that brings them to about here. Come around the corner. And Poxwalker's going to move up once again. I'm going to do that off camera because it's quite tedious. So Poxwalkers have all moved up there 4 inches onto the shooting phase, and this Blight Launcher man is closer to Calcius than he is to the Intercessors. Might not look like it from this angle, but he is. We've measured it. But only he and this Bolt Gunner can actually see Lieutenant Calcius, so he's going to shoot at Calcius. Everyone else is going to shoot at the Intercessors. So we didn't actually catch on camera that I rolled 2 shots, they both hit, and then I rolled this to wound with the Blight Launcher, but the Blight Launcher now re-rolls 1s to wound because it is a plague weapon, as it's called, which is new this issue, so I'm going to re-roll that. Yes, so that is a wound on Calcius.
5+ armour save. No.
No, and it does D3 damage. 2.
So he's down to 3 wounds.
And everybody else at the Intercessors, we've got the other Blight Launcher, 2 hits. 1 wound.
5+ armour save. Nope.
No. D3 damage. 1.
Intercessor takes
him.
a wound.
Plasma gun, not overcharging again, so only 1 damage this time. We've got 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. It does.
6+ armour save. Get in the box. Nope.
Nope, so that's 1 wound, so he goes down. And finally, all the bolt guns. 1 hit. No wound, and no rerolls for that. So that's it for shooting. On to the charge phase, and we're going to start with the Plague Marines because they're kind of in the way of all those Poxwalkers. They're going to charge the Intercessors only.
Yeah, I'll just Overwatch with the bolt rifles, go for weight of fire rather than throwing a grenade at you, but
no
hits.
Charge distance, 7 inches, that should be enough. Moving around the 7 inches, he can get to about there. And then we're going to make the Poxwalkers. They're going to charge both units because there won't be any Overwatch because no Intercessors are locked in combat. Calcius can't see. They're going to roll 7 as well, so that should be enough to get them in. They've all moved in there like that. So we're going to start with the Plague Marines. They're going to pile in. They're 3 inches, so as long as this man gets closer, and they get their attacks. We will start with the Power Fist for obvious reasons. Champion has 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, and 1 hit. Wounding on a 2. Yes.
6+ armour save.
Yep. Oh,
Yep.
we made it. Power Fist has an AP of -3. And then we've got all the other guys with their knives. They can hit, but can they wound? On 4s, rerolling 1s. 1 wound so far, 2 1s. 2 wounds.
2 3+.
That's a wound on somebody. Yeah,
Regular Intercessor.
And the Poxwalkers get to go because they charged as well, so we're going to pile them in. They've all piled in, and it looks like we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 Poxwalkers able to strike. There'll be 12 attacks between the lot of them. They are all going to hit Lieutenant Calcius. I'm going to try and turn him into a Poxwalker. There are still 11 of them, so they're hitting on 4s. This is 12 attacks. 4 hits. Wounding on 5s.
Oh, blimey.
4 6s. 4 3+3.
3+ armour saves, maybe more.
You can do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So no damage to the Poxwalkers, so now you get to strike back.
So I'll do Calcius first. He's got 4 attacks.
Yep.
Can only hit the Poxwalkers. Hitting on 2s. 4 hit. Wounding on 3s, rolling 1s.
Rolling 1s.
3 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. Made 1, so 2 Poxwalkers go down, taking them below their threshold for their extra to hit.
And the Intercessors will fight the Plague Marines.
Okay.
And they've got 5 attacks, because Soldier's an extra one.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s. Only 2.
2.
Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. No wounds.
No wounds at all. So that's it for the Death Guard, and that means we're on to Space Marines turn 3.
So I could fall back and shoot with Cassius, but I'm not going to do that because he's much better in melee. So in the shooting phase, Cassius has 1 pistol shot at the Reavers, hitting on the 3, they hit. Wounding on the 3, rolling 1s, and he got a wound.
Nope,
Took down the Poxwalker.
Another Poxwalker down.
And there's 2 pistol shots from the Intercessors on the Plague Marines, hitting on 3s, 1 hit. 5s, you're rolling 1s, there's a wound.
It's a wound.
3 plus armour save.
Yes, 3 plus armour save. They don't have the AP1 -1 on their pistols, but I made it.
It's my turn, so I get to pick who fights first. I'll pick the Intercessors because I think Cassius will survive against the Poxwalkers.
I think that's likely, yes.
And the Plague Marines will probably wipe them out. So they're going to got 5 attacks on the Plague Marines, hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s.
2 1s.
So I take 1 wound.
1 wound. 3 plus armour save. No. But disgustingly resilient. Haven't made that either, so they kill a Plague Marine. I'll take this Bolt Gunner out the back. My turn to pick. Well, the Plague Marines are safe, so I'm actually going to strike with the Poxwalkers now. And we're still only going to have 6 being able to hit, because I can't actually pile them in any way. 12 attacks, hitting on 5s now, though. Just as good as last time when I was hitting on 4s. Another 4 6s. We got 1 wound.
3 plus armour save. No. Cassius goes down to 2. So 4 attacks hitting on 2s. 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s.
You're rolling 1s.
Well, that was a 4.
That was a 4, so that was 3 wounds. That's 3 Poxwalkers down. And take away the ones at the back again. Finally, and it will be the Plague Marines. They're going to strike the Intercessors. So we've got 2 attacks from the Power Fist. No, actually, we're going to go with the knives first. There's 3 of them left because there's a guy on 1 wound. So get rid of him. We'll hit. Wounding on 4s, re-rolling 1s. That's 1 wound and 2 1s. That's 2 wounds.
2 3 plus armour saves.
1 in the box. 1 is a 4, so
yeah,
they're alright. We'll have to go to the Power Fist. 1 hit on 4s. Wounding on a 2. It does.
6 plus armour save.
Oh, it made it again. Good. Power Fist proof armour.
Protects.
Either that he hasn't switched it on. So the only casualties of that combat were some Poxwalkers and a Plague Marine. So not so good for me. But it is Death Guard turn 3, so we'll see what I can do in return. Not going to be any movement. We're not falling back. We're going to stay in melee. Plague Marines don't have any pistols, so there's no shooting from them. But they're going to go first in the combat phase. We're going to try exactly the same thing we just tried. So we're going to do the 3 knives. Hitting on 3s, that's 3 hits. Wounding on 4s, re-rolling 1s, another 1. That's 2 wounds again. So
2 3 plus armour saves.
Made them both again. And Power Fist hitting on 4s, so it's got 2 hits this time. 2s to wound. Oh, that's a 1 though. So can you roll another 6?
6 plus armour save?
No. So, but that just takes out the wounded guy and leaves Sarge alive. Now it's your turn to pick.
Well, Cassius will go because the Sergeant is safe. So 4 attacks from Cassius hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounded on 3s, you're rolling 1s. Good thing you can re-roll 1s. 2 wounds.
Only 2, so 5 plus disgustingly resilient. Made 1. Another Poxwalker dies. Poxwalkers are going to strike back. There are only 4 of them left, so only 8 attacks hitting on 5s.
2 hits.
2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound.
3 plus armour save. No. Cassius goes down to 1.
Down to 1. These Poxwalkers are wearing him down.
And then Sarge gets to fight your Plague Marines. Well, he's going to kill 3 of them in 1 turn.
3 attacks and 3 hits.
He's off to a good start.
Good start.
5 wounding on 5s, rolling 1s.
No wounds, but we're on 1s.
No.
No wounds, so not from him. The end of another combat phase, but we're on to Space Marines turn 4. So no falling back again.
Yeah, I did consider falling back with Cassius and throwing a frag grenade at them. But then he wouldn't be able to charge you, and you'd probably kill him in melee, and then you just move across and shoot him to bits. So Cassius has his 1 pistol shot at the Poxwalkers. He missed. And 1 pistol shot from the Sergeant. He also missed. So Cassius is going to fight first. So he's got 4 attacks hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s. Not enough to kill them all.
Not enough to kill them all.
But 3 wounds.
3 wounds. Disgustingly resilient. Made 1, failed 2. 2 more Poxwalkers down. Take ones at the back. The Plague Marines. We'll start with the Power Fist. It's got 2 hits. And we're still only 1 wound, so can you make a 6 plus armour save?
No.
Not this time.
D3
damage. 2, so Sarge is down. And then the knives are wasted. Are we going to consolidate? We will actually consolidate a bit, because it's my turn next, so I'm going to just move around the corner, stare at Calcius menacingly. 2 remaining Poxwalkers against Calcius. 1 hit, wounding on 5. Oh, it did. Yeah. Oh, can he... Oh!
Yeah.
Calcius gets turned into a Poxwalker.
Until he's back in the next mission.
Until he comes back. Yeah. Absolutely fine in a minute.
It's a victory for the Death Guard.
Victory for the Death Guard. Relatively comprehensively as well, which makes a change. Yeah, so that was our first mission with various new rules and such. We're going to go on to the second one where we get to use this box a little bit more. So we're on to the second mission, Seize the Ammunition. As you can see, there is an objective on top of the box in the middle of the board. I'll scoot over here to show you that. There it is. And the game lasts for 5 battle rounds, and whoever has most models within 3 inches of it at the end of the game wins. Well, assuming they don't just wipe their opponent out before, of course. Over the page, extra rules. The box, the container, has storm bolters on it. And there they are. That's a storm bolter, and that's a storm bolter. These can be fired by an infantry model that has its base in contact with the storm bolter. And the storm bolter has strength 4, range of 24 inches, and can fire 2 shots or 4 shots within half range, being 12. And then the other thing we've got is a cover save bonus from terrain. So if all the models in the unit are obscured, they gain +1 to their cover save. And then of course we can climb on top of the boxes. With that, we're going to roll off for deployment. Get deployed, and then once again we roll off to go first. It doesn't say we don't, it doesn't say anything different to the previous mission, so that's what we're going to go for. I can roll a 6 for deployment, so can I roll a 6? I can, so we have to roll again. You roll a 6 again, and I roll a 6 again.
Yeah, you're going to use up all your 6s.
Yeah, you roll a 6. What a waste. roll all our good rolls in deployment roll off, so you get to deploy a unit first.
So, like last time, I'm deploying the Reavers on the left.
And my first choice, I deployed the Poxwalkers in basically the same place I did before. Intercessors going on your right.
Yep.
Behind the box. And then in a change of plans, we're going to deploy the Plague Marines on the middle deployment marker.
Whoa.
Ooh. So there we go, I've deployed, and then...
Yeah, so it's against you on the last deployment marker.
He does. So then we roll off to see who goes first. We rolled 5, I've rolled a 4, so you can go first. So we're on to Space Marines, turn 1.
So I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last time. The Reavers are going to move up behind this box and actually be out of line of sight. And Calcius will move up with them. And the Intercessors are going to climb up on top of this. Actually no, they might as well move over to here because I'll actually be able to cover from there. So they're going to move around the side. But not quite in range of Calcius, but... So the Intercessors are going to shoot all the way over at your Poxwalkers. They're out of about 12 inches, so they've only got 1 shot each.
Yeah.
So hitting on 3s.
Okay.
And wounding on 3s, they're not close enough to Calcius. No wounds. I'm not going to declare any charges, so that'll be the end of my turn.
Okie doke, so we're on to Death Guard turn 1. So the Plague Marines are actually going to move on top of this blue box. Now, at this point, we don't technically have this box, because we haven't been given it yet. So it's not really clear how the rules are supposed to represent these printed boxes that are on the board, now that we have an actual container. But we're just going to treat it as the same as that one, but without storm bolters on it, because it seems the most logical thing to do. So it's 2 inches for him to climb up, so this guy on the end has a 3-inch move once he gets up here, so he will move over there. The other Blight Launcher Man will join him up there, as will the Champion. Just squeeze on the end, like that, and then 2 Bolt Gunners will just... So they're like that, around this box. And the Poxwalkers are going to advance an extra 5 inches, so they're going to get to move 9. The Poxwalkers there, 9 inches was enough to get them to move up here as a kind of shield for the Plague Marines, which is exactly what I wanted them to do. And the Plague Marines themselves are going to shoot, and I think they're going to shoot at the Intercessors because the Reavers are obscured behind that box. Everyone can see the Intercessors, and they're not all obscured from the point of view of the Plague Marines, so they won't get cover from this. Well, so we're going to start with the Blight Launchers. They've got only 2 hits, 3s. No wounds, but re-rolling that 1. Still no wounds. The Plasma Gun is... We're going to shoot the bolt guns first and then decide if we have to overcharge the plasma gun. The bolt guns have all hit. They've got 2 wounds.
So from the bolt gunner's perspective, all the intercessors are obscured, so that's 2 2+ armour saves.
Yep. One has passed? Yeah, both passed, so no damage from the bolt guns. So we're not going to overcharge the plasma gun, we don't want to lose the power fist at this early stage, so 2 shots hitting on 3, so 1 hit, he wouldn't have killed himself. Wounding on 2, no, wounding on 3, but it did wound.
So they're not all obscured from the champion's perspective, so that's a 6+ armour save.
Indeed. No.
So one of them takes a wound. Be the man in the open.
That's it for shooting for the Death Guard turn. Poxwalkers advance so they can't charge, so that means it's on to Space Marines turn 2.
So first things first, the intercessors are going to move up. So this guy will get to here. The back of his foot is in cover. If only we were playing Kill Team. And then the Reavers are going to move up to there. So we have to stay an inch away from the Poxwalkers. And Calcius is going to move up onto the box and be in base contact with that Stormbolter. So first things first, one of the Reavers will throw a shock grenade at the Plague Marines.
So this has D3 shots.
Only one. Oh, come on.
It hits on a 3, but if it hits, then that's what we want. It does.
Hit.
So the Plague Marines are not able to shoot Overwatch, and there'll be a -1 on all their hit rolls until the end of the turn. So that could be quite important.
And then the other 2 Reavers are going to fire their bolt pistols at the Plague Marines as well. So hitting on 3s, 1 hit. We're going to do on 5s, we're rolling 1s because we're next to Calcius. No. Calcius will fire the Stormbolter into the Poxwalkers. So that's 4 shots hitting on 3s. They all hit. We're going to do on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 2 wounds.
2 disgustingly resilient. Made 1. 1 Poxwalker dies.
Intercessors are going to fire their bolt rifles at the Plague Marines. So 6 shots hitting on 3s. Average. And wound you on 5s, you're rolling 1s. Oh, come on. 1 wound.
5. I get my 4+ armor save, so that -1, and I've failed it. And then I get disgustingly resilient, which I've also failed. And lose a bolt gunner from over here. On to the charge phase.
So the Reavers are going to declare a charge both. They're going to charge both the Poxwalkers and the Plague Marines. So, but you have no Overwatch.
I do not, because of that shock grenade.
They got a 6.
That's enough to get the guy up onto the top.
So yes, this man is going to bravely climb up to fight the Plague Marines, and the other 2.
Well, they might as well fight the Poxwalkers.
They can't really fit in.
No, they can't.
But they
Can't possibly get within an inch of this guy because he's up here.
Yeah, the Intercessors will declare a charge as well. See if we can get you with weight of numbers. Well, with an 8 they'll be in. And they'll be around about here. Yeah, I'll leave a gap for Calcius there. And then Calcius will declare a charge of the Poxwalkers as well.
Oh, 11. Plenty of...
Actually, you probably could have charged the Plague Marines with that. Oh well. So he'll slot in down there. Pick the Intercessors and we'll just pile in a little bit. So they have 7 attacks hitting on 3s. 5 hits. Wound you on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 3 wounds.
3 resilient saves. Made 2 of them, so only 1 Poxwalker goes down, although that crucially is the one necessary to bring them below their threshold. So I'm just taking them off the end. Who's next?
I'll do the Reavers next. So this guy's going to fight the Plague Marine.
Yep.
He has 3 attacks hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 5s, re-rolling 1s. No wounds.
No damage.
And the other 2, the Sergeant and the other regular, are going to fight the Poxwalkers. So they have 7 attacks between them again, hitting on 3s. Oh, blimey, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 1 wound.
I've made my disgusting resilient, so the Reavers did nothing at all, apart from the crucial shot grenade. Calcius.
4 attacks hitting on 2s. 3 hits, wounded on 3s, rolling 1s.
Rolling 1s.
We can re-roll 1s. 2 wounds.
There we go. And then we're going to have 2 more dead. Taking away the 2 Poxwalkers that were down in there. We're going to fight back with the Poxwalkers first, I think. They're all going to hit the Intercessors. They're all just about within an inch of an inch. Someone who's within an inch. So 16 attacks hitting on 5s. Ooh. Wounding on 5s. Ooh, 4. That's not average.
3+ armor saves.
The Emperor protects.
Oh, no,
blimey.
he doesn't.
You actually get 2 Poxwalkers back.
2 Intercessors dead, and I get 2 Poxwalkers. I put my new Poxwalkers there. And then the Plague Marines are going to go. So I have piled in. What's happened is that this Blight Launcher man has moved over here slightly, but he might fall off if I put him there, so he doesn't balance properly. So he's technically there, and then the Champion has come down this side of the box. But again, he won't balance, so he's just down there. But he's actually up here, so that means that these 3 up here will get to strike at this Reaver. We're going to start with the Power Fist, but he's at -1 to hit because of that shot grenade, so only hitting on 5s. And we haven't got any. We've got the 2 Plague Marines up there as well. They're hitting on 4s.
5s. Oh, 4s,
4s.
yeah, sorry.
1 hit and a wound on a Reaver.
3+ armor save.
Yes, so they're fine. That's it for Space Marines turn 2, so we're on to Death Guard turn 2. So what we're going to do in the movement phase is these Plague Marines are going to fall back from combat. So they're going to move their 5 inches away. So they've fallen back out of combat, and they've managed to get themselves over there. But the Poxwalkers are going to stay where they are, and nothing is going to happen in the shooting phase because they fell back, so straight onto the combat phase. And these Poxwalkers are going to pile in, and then they are all of them going to hit the Intercessor Sergeant. So it's actually 20 attacks because I got 2 back, which I forgot about. So it's going to be 2 batches of 10, hitting on 5s, 1. So I'll just do the second batch again, see if I get any more hits. 5 hits total. He's going to be wounding on 5s, 2 wounds.
1, 2, 3+ armor saves. Just make 1. Oh, come on, don't give him another Poxwalker.
1 in the box. Oh, he's okay. So he takes a wound. And then they're not going to move any further, so you get to strike back.
Reavers, I'll go with the Reavers first and they get to pile in.
Yeah, he piles in down the box.
And then there's 10 attacks from the Reavers. Hitting on 3s. 7 hits. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. 2 rerolls. 5 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. No, 5 dead. 5 down, we look like that.
I'll do Calcius next. So 4 attacks hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wound on 3s, rolling 1s. They all wound.
Wound. Can I make a disgustingly resilient save this turn? I can make 1, so 3 more will go down. 3 more down. But Sarge gets to strike back.
And he's got 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Come on, Sarge.
3 hits.
Wounding on 3s, rolling 1s.
Rolling 1s.
4,
that's 3
wounds.
wounds. Oh, come on. Yes. Oh no, all the Poxwalkers are dead. That's not good. So that leaves all of those guys free as we go into Space Marines turn 3, which is not what I wanted.
So first off, Sarge, Poxwalker Slayer, is going to stand on the objective by the Stormbolter. Calcius will move over here. And then 3 Reavers are just going to form a line an inch away onto the shooting phase. I'll do the important one first. I'll do the shot grenade from the Reavers first.
So D3 shots on the shot grenade.
Only 1.
Hits on the 3.
It hits.
That's important. No Overwatch from the Plague Marines again.
And then the other 2 Reavers will fire their bolt pistols. There's 1 hit. We're doing a 5, rolling 1s. Rolling the 1. Nope. Calcius will throw a crack grenade at you. So hitting on a 3. He hit. Wounding on a 3.
Yeah,
strength 6. No. Didn't wound, can't re-roll a 2. And then Sarge on the Stormbolter is going to fire the Stormbolter at your Plague Marines as well.
Yeah.
So 4 shots hitting on 3s. They all hit. Wounding on 5s, rolling 1s.
Rerolling 1s.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. No armor penetration for the Stormbolter. And I failed 1 of my armor saves. Disgustingly resilient. Nope. So we're going to take away the bolt gun.
And then the Reavers are going to declare a charge.
No Overwatch. Yeah, they're
9 inches, so they'll go all the way around basically. And then Calcius will declare a charge as well. Just don't roll.
That'll do.
Yeah, they'll go there. So I'll pick the Reavers to fight first.
It's 10 attacks between the lot of them.
10 attacks hitting on 3s. Reroll that one.
Yep.
So 8 hits. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. Roll that in the box. Oh.
2 wounds so far. Rerolling on these ones.
5 wounds.
5 wounds. 3+ armor save.
This is their redemption from dying.
I failed 1 armor save, and I failed my resilient roll. So we will take away. This is failed.
And then Calcius gets to pile in as well. He has 4 attacks hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. 1 so far. Just 1.
6 plus save. Nope. 5 plus resilient. Nope.
The other Blight Launcher.
So the other Blight Launcher man goes down. So leaving just the champion left, who
can't
fight Cassius, so he's going to hit the Reavers. He's got 2 attacks hitting on 5s because of that shot grenade. Nope, no hits. So that's the end of Space Marines turn 3. Death Guard turn 3. Going to be fairly simple. We're going to go straight to the fight phase. The champion is going to try and hit the Reavers again. He's hitting on 4s now because the shot grenade's worn off. Oh, he still can't hit them.
And the Reavers get to fight back. 10 attacks hitting on 3s. Oof, 9 hits.
Come on, champ. You'll be fine.
Wounded on 5s, you're rolling 1s.
Well.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
1 wound so far. Reroll that 1. 2 wounds.
His armour saves. He's passed both of them. He is alright. But we're on the Space Marines turn 4, and I don't think he's going to survive this one. No movement. So straight onto the shooting phase, you've got 3 pistols.
Yeah, 3 pistols from the Reavers, hitting on 3s. Too busy chopping at him. Didn't wound. So yes, Cassius can't actually fit to get into melee. Oh wait, he can fit around the side.
Oh yeah, of course you can. You can go around there.
So Cassius will try and charge you. Yeah,
That's
he's
enough. So he comes around here. There he goes. And he gets to strike first.
So he has 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. 3 hits. Wounded on 5s, rolling 1s. No wounds. Then the Reavers get to pile in. 10 attacks. Come on, boys. 7 hits.
Yeah.
Wounded on 5s, you're rolling 1s. And re-rolling the 1. No. So 4 wounds.
Armour saves. All failed 1.
5 plus resilience.
Yeah, here he goes. So champion is dead. And that is a comprehensive Space Marine victory for the second game. So that's it for these games. We're just going to have a quick recap and discussion of what we've seen this week. So there we go with the games from issue 13 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest featuring our new container. So any particular thoughts you have on all that?
Well, the first mission shows that the positioning is important, and maybe don't leave a man visible to really powerful shooting units, because you'll lose a whole squad in one go.
Yeah,
You'll
true,
have to see what happens when the Plague Marines actually roll well for once.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Having the plasma gunner not automatically blow himself up every time is quite nice, actually. And because the fact is that even when not overcharged, he's still a pretty good gun because it takes away that armour save quite.
And the 2 Blight Launchers as well.
2 Blight Launchers are quite dangerous. D3 damage is quite good. After 13 issues, I've finally learnt to roll dice.
Yes.
Quite impressed with my Poxwalkers in that mission as well. They did what they needed to do. They killed Cassius in the end and wore him down, kept him busy. So that was good. You did make 2 6+ armour saves from the power fist.
I used up all my luck then, unfortunately.
You did. And then the second game was kind of completely the opposite in that you kind of got the initiative basically and didn't
I don't think it was really down to any sort of tactical error. I suppose it did get very lucky. I mean, I've rolled the bare minimum to actually hit you with a shot grenade. You just see just how useful shot grenades are. Yeah,
something I don't think has ever come up before. I don't think I've ever had that come up before in a game, but actually they're really useful when Reavers use them. It's quite good, and actually making the power fist hit on 5s. I sort of almost got away with keeping my Poxwalkers in as a shield after they survived very well in that first round of combat, but then you killed them all.
I thought that, I mean, it could have gone completely if I hadn't managed to wipe out your Poxwalkers, and I thought I wasn't.
No, because what I would have done is if there's even one Poxwalker left in that fight, you would have just
fallen back and then shot at them.
Fall back, shoot with the Plague Marines, charge something, hit them with the power fist, and it could have looked very different. How about new rules this issue? We've got obviously the terrain rules. They're not particularly complicated, but it's an awful lot for newcomers to learn.
Yeah, it is a bit. So since we actually know the full rules, we can look at the stat sheets and go, well, all right then. But if you are a completely new player, basically have to learn everything again almost.
Pretty much. The data sheets themselves are not super complicated, but given that we're going from the kind of simplified baby data sheets, suddenly you've got all of this information. Could be a bit overwhelming if you
when just that and small things like the Blight Launcher does a D3 damage now rather than 2. You have to sort of second guess yourself.
It does seem rather strange, yes, that last issue they told us the Blight Launcher did 2 damage. This issue it's gone to D3. I don't really know quite why they did that, because you've just learnt something and then next issue you're told, oh no, it's not actually that, it's slightly different. So there are quite a few things like that where the rules that have been given previously have been technically wrong, which is fine from the point of view of being a newcomer. You don't want to burden them with too many complicated rules. But on the other hand, if the correct rule would be no more complicated, I don't know why they don't just give you the correct rule to start with. And then when you do get the full rules, you say, oh, there we go, that's what I've already learned, rather than, oh, it's different to what I've known.
And when that as well, it's just a whole lot of, like, all the intercessors and the Reavers
have -1 AP on their weapons now. The Power Fist now has an armor save, whereas before it didn't. The Reavers have their shot grenades. One thing that I think we actually missed is that the Plague Marines have Death to the False Emperor, so if they roll a 6 in melee, they get an extra attack.
And we forgot that, and we in theory know what we're doing, so if you're new and that suddenly that rule appears and with no introduction, you can actually see why we've got relatively simple forces in this mission given the amount of information that we've been given as well. If we had complicated units like the Blightspawn or the Blighthauler or
the
Librarian, then that would be even more to take in. So that'll be it for this episode of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. If you enjoyed this, then please give us a like, consider subscribing. We'll have more of these coming out regularly. If you had any thoughts you want to share, then leave a comment if you thought anything we could have done differently. But in the meantime, we will sign off here. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.